my god. Did the game finally get released? Oh wait, that was a while ago. Not like it matters. It was never really about the review. It was about the live streams and that sweet, sweet death montage. Oh shit. I just spoiled that there are deaths in V3. Cut! We can edit that out in post, right? Like, I don't want to give it away. Like, well, I told them I wouldn't have any spoilers. Like, can you edit that out? Like, yeah, okay. Actually, let's just keep going without my gross face on screen. Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony was released on January 12th, 2017 for the PS Vita and PlayStation 4. Like, finally, no more of this Vita exclusive shit, right? But it was only available in Japan. Then, 9 agonizing months of avoiding spoilers later, the game got released worldwide. And for PC too, which is good because I heard that the PS4 version does that dumb shit where it prevents you from sharing footage past Chapter 2. I just heard, that's all, but as nice as it would be to finally have some use for my PS4, no way in hell was I risking not being able to livestream the game and playing it by myself. Honestly, seeing other people's reactions while playing really enhances the whole experience, and livestreaming is the only way I can get that since I don't have friends. But then, Spike Chunsoft pulled the same dumb shit that was attempted with Persona 5 and revealed streaming guidelines that said your video or live stream will be taken down if you play past Chapter 1. My reaction was just sort of, fuck that, come at me, bro. But there wasn't much need to worry because Spike Chunsoft chilled out after the inevitable backlash and simply requested that streamers and Let's Players just make it clear to their viewers that they would be showing spoilers. Which, given the content of the game, is fair. This game is so twisty that it can be spoiled 10 times over just from watching a minute of trial gameplay from one of the later chapters. So that's why it's good news that there's a demo for this game that is completely non-canon that was released a month beforehand. That's where the majority of my trial gameplay footage will come from, so no worries about spoilers there. But first, we must get acquainted with our new characters. You know how I complained that the protagonists in the previous games were total basic bitches? They were so player insert that they didn't even have real ultimate talents. In fact, 2 of them weren't even ultimate students at all, they were just regular people. Well, get the fuck ready, because this time our protagonist is Keide Akamatsu. That's right, a female protagonist, and she has an actual ultimate talent, ultimate pianist. And as someone who played piano for years, and is also a girl, hard to believe I know, I was fucking stoked to play as her. But even though she is so different from the protagonist that came before, she still sticks to tradition. Just look at that ahoge. Makoto would be proud. But yeah, characters. Honestly, I think this game has the most likable cast out of the whole series, for the most part. But there are still ultimate jokes to be made, so let's get to that. Okay, starting with Keide, we've got the ultimate...
But that's Kaede's lie, isn't it?
The ultimate misandrist, the ultimate punchline, the ultimate balls of steel, the ultimate mom, the ultimate cinnamon roll, the ultimate...
Wanna go to space, wanna go to space!
The ultimate no chill, the ultimate bass breaker, the ultimate Scientologist, the ultimate... we've done this before, haven't we? The ultimate plain Jane Payne, the ultimate should he be wearing clothes, or the ultimate reason to kink shame, the ultimate squib, and the ultimate... you know what, let's just not talk about him. As for the setting, the game takes place at the Ultimate Academy for Gifted Juveniles. I don't need to explain how they got there, do I? It's standard stuff. They're trapped at the school, they can't remember what happened, and Monokuma says kill each other. Also, Monokuma has kids now called Monokubs. They're pretty annoying and don't contribute much, so who cares? The setting is a bit of a return to form after Danganronpa 2's island setting, but instead of new floors of the school just opening after passing trials, you get objects and have to figure out where to put them to unlock new areas, which can be fun, if a bit time-consuming. My only problem is that I found the school to be a little hard to navigate. I know that's not going to mean much coming from me, since I can get lost walking in a straight line, but I did find myself getting turned around a lot. Not sure why, though. Moving on, the controls are pretty much all the same, no need to change what already works, right? The only exception is now you have the ability to slap things. Not people, I tried. A lot. But you can slap certain objects in rooms to get mono coins. I guess it's a neat way to get more coins, but I forgot to use it most of the time. I do appreciate the mental image of K-Day walking around slapping objects out of existence, though. Of course, you use the coins to buy gifts for free time events, but we'll discuss that part of the game a bit later. For now, let's discuss murder. No, Yasuhiro is unfortunately not dead, he's just a placeholder for the demo. But as you can see, collecting evidence is about the same as it's always been. How much deeper could it really get, am I right? The rules are all pretty much the same too, just figure out who killed the victim during the trial and you live another day. The trials are different from the previous games, but not so complicated that they feel out of place. Non-stop debates are still there, of course, but the mini-games are different and there's just some new stuff in general. But first, can I just say, this courtroom looks hella rad? I love how the podiums move around, too. Anyway, the non-stop debates now have V points. They're small red dots that you can see on a weak point when you use focus, and if you hit them, you get a better score. Not really necessary, but it's always kind of exciting when you hit one. Another new feature is the ability to lie. By holding down the button, you can shoot a lie bullet instead for some good old-fashioned perjury. Don't worry though, you don't use the lies to help the killer, just to move things along when everyone else is stuck on a point that doesn't actually matter. There's also mass panic debates. It's when everyone starts talking over each other and you have to figure out weak points in the midst of all the noise. It's not too hard, but as I've learned, using focus does help a lot. Rebuttal showdowns are back, but instead of using the keys to choose the direction of your blade, you move your mouse and click. I found it a bit better than it was in DR2, but it's still not all that interesting. My favorite new addition is definitely the scrum debates, though. When half of the group disagrees on something with the other half, the trial is split. You have to use statements from your side to refute statements from the opposing side, and then button mash at the end to get your point across. It's really fun. Can't forget the mini-games, though. There's Mind Mine, which is just a basic puzzle game where you get rid of blocks with matching colors, or you can get rid of a single block for a time penalty. As you remove the blocks, you'll uncover objects related to the case, and you have to pick the right one. It's not very exciting. Next is Psych Taxi. You drive around collecting sentence fragments that make up a question, and then you have to answer that question by hitting the right pedestrian. Yes, I'm serious. Also avoid the other drivers that show up occasionally. This is unfortunately the replacement for Logic Dive. Not that it's a bad minigame, it's kind of fun, but nothing really beats snowboarding in space, am I right? And finally, we have Hangman's Gambit 3, or Improved Hangman's Gambit. They just can't let this one go, can they? The original sucked, the second one was passable, and this one is pointless. The letters float by and every now and then a light will pass over them and show you what they are. Or you can light up the middle of the screen using focus and see them that way. Then you select them in the right order and you've got your word. I ended up getting sick of it though because the game tended to phrase things differently than how I thought it would, which just left me confused and irritated. Worst minigame by far. Then there's Panic Talk Action, which has definitely been improved. No more of that click the mouse with the rhythm crap anymore. It plays and looks way better. I can't show any footage of that though, because spoilers. Sorry. And then the whole thing finishes off with the closing argument comic. It's slightly different in that you have to place a certain number of panels before more panels get unlocked. Also, it bothers me that the comic itself is floating off in the distance at an angle, but aside from that, it's the same thing. Just place the panels correctly and you're done. Even with all the issues I can find, these different parts of the trial all come together to make each trial fun to play through. As is typical of the series, the trials are the best part of the game, no question. It's good that the gameplay really delivered because, in my opinion, the story kind of didn't. I know I promised no spoilers, and I meant that, but by the end of the game, I was just exhausted with all the shit this plot pulled. I found it kinda disappointing because I like the game and its characters, but the story that goes along with it is unsatisfactory. And I know it's supposed to be that way, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. But the good news is, V3 has a ton of post-game content to keep you entertained if the ending didn't wipe you out completely. There are 3 bonus modes to play, as well as a card game. Oh shit, speaking of cards, don't look at the Steam trading cards from V3 until you finish the game. Just trust me. Anyway, the bonus modes include Despair Dungeon, an RPG that uses the cards from the card game. There's also the Ultimate Talent Development Plan, a board game that takes place in an alternate universe where everyone from all 3 Danganronpa games is alive and attending Hope's Peak Academy together. Ah yes, the classic everyone lives, nobody dies AU, a favorite of fanfiction writers everywhere. But I don't really have an opinion on those modes because I played them for like 5 minutes. You all know what I was really after. Our equivalent to school mode in this game is Love Across the Universe, Dangan Salmon Team. Don't question the name, it's a reference. This is school mode, but without the dumb resource gathering game breaking up the part we all care about. Essentially, it's all the free time events, but you have 10 days to get through them all and raise your affection with characters by going on dates. You buy date tickets at the casino. Yeah, there's a casino in this game. You trade your mono coins for casino coins and bet on games and purchase things. There's slots, of course, but the rest of the games are just versions of mini-games from the trials. But none of that matters, because the date tickets aren't what you should save up for. You need to save up for the Key of Love. It allows you to access the Love Hotel next to the casino. Wait until nighttime and bam! Romantic scene with a random character in the Love Hotel. Also, you can get these scenes during the main game, but it's better to wait until this mode because you're restricted to characters that are actually alive. The best way to see all the scenes is to save once you get the key and just keep reloading until you've seen everyone because the key is random every time. Seriously though, there's some good stuff in these scenes, even if some of them are pretty much sexual assault. They're even partially voice acted. Okay, the scenes are non-canonical and considered to be dreams, but I do not care one bit. After all, these scenes contain just about the only bit of man service in the entire game. Seriously, the first 2 games had at least a couple guys take their shirts off. In V3, it's tits or GTFO. And if you've played the game and are thinking of correcting me, no, that doesn't count. Also, gross. I guess I'll just have to settle for fan art. Free tip, Pixiv is where the good shit's at. That would be all I have to say, but I have some last-minute complaints that may or may not be relevant anymore. Unfortunately, the PC port I played was kind of shoddy. It affected the talking portions a lot, and that's just great because that's most of the game. The text would sometimes get stuck in auto mode. Oh yeah, it's space for auto mode again, fuck you Ultra Despair girls, but other times it just wouldn't work. And sometimes clicking to move to the next bit of text wouldn't work either. Like, the game would get stuck for no reason. How do you fuck up something that simple? But the real problem came during the trials. In the trials, the A and S keys, which would be pressed rapidly during PTA segments and scrum debates, were switched. I think they may have patched this issue since, but let me tell you, I had a serious moment of fucking fury when I kept failing the end of a scrum debate and couldn't figure out what the fuck was happening. I wish I could show the clip, but it's all spoilers. How does that even happen? Also, there were some extra text box glitches here and there. Pissed me off though, because this is the first full-price game I've bought in ages, and it has more technical issues than all 3 previous games combined. Whatever, I guess it's all water under the bridge. I enjoyed the game for the most part, and if they decide to continue the series after this, I'll probably buy the next one. But part of me hopes they don't, because I'm pretty sure learning to read Japanese would be easier than having to avoid spoilers for 9 months again. Just saying. Like, I know the wait times are worse for Story of Seasons games, yikes, sorry Europe, but at least those games don't have plots that matter. So, yeah, it's a good game, but if you don't feel like paying full price for it, I don't blame you. Maybe you don't even care about playing the game at all and you just want to know who dies. In which case, I've got a pretty rad death montage for you. But, you know, I think it's time to finally move on. When's that new Layton game coming out? What? It's already out? What? But it hasn't even been a year. No, I know how this works. Every other Professor Layton game in existence took like a year to make it to North America. It only took 3 months. It's already out. Well, fuck. Better get on that then. So if you want to see what's next, subscribe, and the next review will be posted soon. I promise. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.